Yeah, and it's just gonna pick up our audio, and it's pretty good.
Okay.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is the Long Distance Friendship Podcast. This is the LDF podcast. It's guess what? It's a guest episode. All right, we don't do a lot of guests, but when we get a guest, we got a fucking guest, and this is not Andrew Wagner. It's a different person. All right, it's a real quality guest. It's me, your host, Sam Castillo, and this week we got a good one. It's Erik Pfohl. Get up for Erik, everybody.
They're cheering, man.
They're cheering in their homes. They're cheering in their Teslas.
They're going wild. They're honking their horns.
That's what it is. Everybody, I've known Erik for like a few years now. He came down to Austin for a year. We just did comedy together. Now he's doing comedy in New York, and he's like, I don't know how to put it, like the biggest person on TikTok that I know personally. Very, very quality TikTok must follow. It's Erik John 93 with a K. Erik with a K. And yeah, you want to plug the YouTube channel you got, because that's real new and you've been working hard on that, dude.
Sure, yeah. Follow me on like Instagram, TikTok, Erik John 93. That same thing's gonna be my YouTube name. I got like a little studio to do YouTube videos. I'm gonna start probably putting them out within the next month. So definitely start following those. What's that?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. And everything's going good, man. Like, it's just nice to be with, just chilling. I mean, like, it was nice to find something besides stand-up to work on, I feel like, during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I was just afraid that, not that, like, nobody was asking me to do stand-up too much anyway. So, like, you're just like, oh, I can't go to, like, some random bar anymore. Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah. What am I going to do with all of my time?
Exactly. And I mean, that's probably how the rest of the world felt, but
yeah. And this is a true long distance friendship pod, dude. You're up in like,
I'm all the way in New York. I know. It's like, it's crazy. You're unmasked. I'm still masked, I guess. So
dude, I know it's like, it didn't occur to me like how loose it is down here in Texas. I was listening to Baseball Tonight, like the ESPN podcast that they do every night. And they were interviewing the Oakland Athletics manager, and he's like, yeah, I mean, we've had some illnesses with COVID related, and we're just going to have to be really serious when we're on the team. We have to tell these guys, look, you're not in Texas, okay? It's not loosey-goosey. And it's like, that's how the rest of the world.
It's not loosey-goosey, all right? That's Texas, man.
That's Texas.
Well, I mean, Texas is, like, killing it right now, right? Everyone's like, I mean, that's like what you hear, like, everyone's moving to Texas, or, like, all these states that, like, are, I guess, like, more loose with it. Like, everyone's going to Florida. Even, like, some comics I know, like, temporarily moved. Some bigger name comics to, like, either Florida or Texas and, like, California. And it's, like, everyone moved out. New York is still, like, I mean, apparently they're starting up this April. But I feel like the up-and-coming scene in New York is going to take even longer to bounce back. I think they're really just going to start with, like, their big comics up here.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to, like, really push it too much. So it'll be interesting to see when New York comes back. I mean, I hope it comes back in the future, but
I mean, it will. We just hope it's soon,
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you vaxxed yet?
I did not get it yet. I got COVID, so I have like the antibodies apparently right now. So,
nice.
I got it like a month ago.
But
it sucked. What's that? It sucked.
Here for a week, dude. I'm fully vaxxed, baby. I'm peak. I got the second one Thursday, dude. I'm peak immunity right now.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, so does that mean, like, is it more like a flu shot? Like, could you just, like, be worried about COVID, or are you, like, good? Like, you could just, like, someone could spit in your mouth and you're not going to get COVID. Like, are you totally fine?
I'm going to have to get another one. I was reading this thing with all the variants going on. Even though I got both, I'm probably going to have to get a booster in 6 to 7 months.
We're like little kids again.
Yeah, right?
Some of the doctors getting shots all day.
I know. Yeah, I cut you off, though. It sucked. Like, how bad was it for you?
I feel like it's different for everybody, man. Like, everyone's like, they have different symptoms. But, I mean, I know when I'm really sick when I can play video games for a really long time and not care. Like, I can play for, like, 5 hours and just not do anything else. And, like, because when you're, like, I wouldn't get bored. So I'm like, I was like, one day, it was Tuesday, and I was coming back home from work, and I was like, I usually go right to work out, and I was like, I don't feel good. Like, I'm just not going to work out. And you know, like the feeling, like that calm before the storm feeling, where you're
Oh yeah.
like, you don't have symptoms, or you're just like, I feel weird, man. Like something is just off. And then for the next 2 weeks, it was like kind of an on and off fever. It was more or less just like a lot of joint aches for me. And yeah, it was weird. It was like, it felt like it was almost like I felt like I like worked out really hard the day before. Like it just really like achy in my joints. But just like lethargic. I mean, people have definitely had a lot worse. I got kind of lucky, but it was, it was pretty bad. I felt like the flu for me.
Yeah. Did you lose? Like, I have a friend whose fiance got it in the summer. Like, they both got it. He's, he beat the thing real fast. He's like, after 10 days, I was good. But I had to stay in quarantine, for like fucking 2 weeks or whatever. And his fiance took her longer to get back, and she didn't get her sense of smell back. She got it in July. She didn't get her sense of smell until like fucking 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I wonder if you like even like I wonder if like it affects you. Like, are you almost upset you get your sense of smell back? Like you're pissed off because you can smell shit again. Like I feel like what is my sense of smell is just like, does anything like really good? Like, do you miss it? I feel like I wouldn't even miss it too much. It would just be something I would like, oh, I forgot I can't smell.
I would miss the smell of coffee, and that's it. That's like the smell I really like. Like, I feel like most food that I like, I could get by with the taste and the texture and no smell. Yeah,
taste would be weird. I mean, people lose taste. That's got to be like, I've heard people like they get frustrated because they can't taste. Like they're just like they eat a lot of food with like high sugar and salt because like all they want to do is like have a taste of something.
Yeah, that's how my dad is with black pepper. He just goes through so much black pepper because the guy.
There's those people like that, but you can't say anything to them because it's really not that bad. What are you gonna say? Like, don't eat that?
Oh, my mom gets offended. She's like, "What? The cooking I make is not good?" And he's like,
"Yeah, that's true."
Like they go to a restaurant and they're like, "Fresh pepper," and they're like, the guy's like grinding it, and the guy's elbow are going out, a pile of pepper on it. Well, you mentioned the taste. So the same friend of mine, she got the smell back recently. She lost her sense of taste for about a month after we got it back, and so back in the summer, but certain things tasted weird. So like she used to love like caramelized onions, like on pizzas or like tacos or stuff like that. And she's like, onions in any form, raw, sautéed, anything, white, green onions, yellow onions, red onions. It's like undescribably bad. Like it's
really
so bad I can't handle. I spit it out.
That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah. Like the taste
bad, not even like real bitter or something. Like just bad taste. Like
like sour. She said it was like sour. Like just sour to where it tasted rancid, as if a sign to like don't eat it because it's bad.
Yeah, almost like it was like bad milk, like sour. Yeah, like if something was like a dated food like that, your body. That's weird. That's weird.
And it's like she's like, it's a perfectly fine onion. We cooked it on the stove,
Yeah,
I know.
Your body's like, no.
He's like, it's like a food I used to love. I know it's going to be okay, but my brain is sending signals as if it's going to get me sick, so I can't eat it.
Do you ever like eat bad food? You ever like eat something really like drink something that went bad or something by mistake? Like your body tells you right away. It's like it's not even like, oh, I don't like this. It's like, no, this should not be allowed in our body.
I had some tilapia in the fridge that I was like, I'm gonna risk it. And I was like, I'm gonna risk it. I'm pretty sure this is too old to eat, but I'm just gonna cook it in the oven, and that's gonna cure it of all the things. And I took like one bite out of it, and I was like, if I eat this, I'm gonna be shitting my brains out. And I just had to throw this fresh fish that I just cooked. Like, I put all this work into cooking it, and it's like, I can't, because if I eat it, I'm gonna get sick.
Oh yeah, man. Fish just like, even when you kill, I don't know. I mean, like fish is always to me like if you go by like a dock or something, like that smell, man.
I love it. I've worked in seafood restaurants and sushi
You love
restaurants for
seafood?
years
Yeah.
now. I eat almost exclusively fish. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I'm like the
Eggs,
opposite.
white chicken or white breast usually. Sometimes I'll eat dark meat chicken, but that's where all the fat is because it tastes so good. Chicken thighs,
Mhm.
but usually just like chicken breast, and then fuck ton of fish, dude. A lot of ahi tuna.
Really?
Fuck
Yeah.
ton. Yeah.
Is it like? Is it like? I heard it's like good for your brain.
Yeah, I mean, you can't eat too much of it, you'll get mercury poisoning. So you gotta like,
Oh, okay, maybe not.
just the fly too
Stress
close.
you out.
It's like okay, I didn't want to. Yeah, I'll do it. I got my second Pfizer, and I just like had the most. I didn't have a fever from it. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you should take off work the next day. Dude. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel sore. You're gonna feel exhausted." And I didn't. Instead, I just had the most insane stomach pain. Like 4 or 5 hours afterwards, it felt like someone was stabbing me in the stomach with a knife, and I was like, "Man, I need to eat better." And I eat really good. So then I just went out
Yeah.
and bought like a salad kit, like the full salad kit meant for like a family dinner, and I just
Yeah.
ate the entire thing. I dumped the pistachios that came with it in there. I dumped the cranberries, the carrots, and I just ate like 4 servings of spinach in one thing, and that didn't help. It just no, it just made everything green, and it was brutal. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I hate that when you're like, you ever like be real hungover and you're like, you eat healthy, you're like, what the hell? I ate a salad. This is bullshit, like.
Yeah, you're drinking Pedialyte with a salad.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like, why isn't this going away? But yeah, man. Like, did you like shit it all out or did it just go away?
Dude, it was fucking. Let's do it. I'll talk about it. So much blood, dude.
Oh shit!
Insane amount of blood, dude. Like to the point where I got dizzy looking at it, and when I stood up. So between the blood from the Pfizer shot and then the green from the salad, looked like Christmas, dude. It was wild.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
that would freak me out. I'd be like, yo, what did you give me? I would call them up.
I know. I was like,
why am I shitting blood? Nobody told me this.
And it went for 2 days. And I was like, man, that was just the one time. And it was every time for the next 2 or 3 days. And then I was like, man, if this goes on, and I'm so broke, I'm like, one more day and I'll call a doctor.
Yeah, you're always like, it's so bad. Like, that's the American healthcare system. Like, oh, how much is it going to cost me, man? Like, that's the first thing I think about too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I that would freak me out, man. I mean, anything with my stomach, I have like such a sensitive stomach, but like, I feel like I'd say that, but I don't eat that good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have a veggie shake every morning, man. That's how I get my greens. Like, I can't, like, I'll do, some stuff, but like, for the most part, I just get it over with, and then like,
almond milk and some kale and some berries in there.
all that stuff. Yeah. It's just like the best way to go. But, one time I did put expired coconut milk in there. I don't know. It was just in the fridge for like months, but like, you don't think of that. Like, you're not going to smell coconut milk. Like, it's just like,
it's sweet. So you think it's good.
yeah, you're just like, it's like not real dairy. You're like, it can't go bad. So I just like, it tasted like I was just eating my own throw up. That's what it tasted like. I felt like I just threw up and just grabbed it, just put it back in my mouth.
You caught it and then you were just
yeah, it's just like no,
brutal. Dude. Yeah. Before we hit record, everybody, Erik was calling me out on my Spotify. I listened to you can attest. I listened to a lot of what?
Steely Dan, man, you're nonstop. Like,
dude.
You have a song for every mood or something.
I listen to a lot of Dan, and I'm a Dan head, dude. And the first concert I'm seeing, I bought tickets. I'm seeing Donald Fagen and his band in Fort Worth at the Fort Worth Doctor.
Are they still together? It's two guys, right?
Walter Becker and Donald Fagen, two guys. And then Becker died of cancer 3 years ago, so it's just Fagen.
Oh.
But he was the singer anyway, so it's okay. So it's just got some guy to play the bass for Becker, and then there's a full band to play his shit. So it's just gonna be 71-year-old Fagen just on the piano, just singing, and I think it's like the Fort Worth is like a real cowboy town here in Texas, like the most cowboy town. It's like,
Mhm.
where I'm seeing it is like it's like, it's Steely Dan, the ticket stub. It says like Steely Dan, presented by Ticketmaster and the Dickies Wrangler Dr. Pepper Civic Center. It's like, oh my god.
Everything that gives you diabetes and just like the sponsors. That's mad funny. Like, yeah, man, Steely, you're just like, you love them time progressions. You just love those odd time signatures. Those like,
Love the time signatures.
you you ever meet those people that are just like, they don't like music if it's like doesn't take a lot of skill. They're like, I can't listen to it, man. It's not that hard to play, so I don't like it. And I'm like,
I knew a guy like that. He was so
yeah.
and he was like, rap is not real music because they sample other people's work, and it's like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, then you fucking make it, dude. If it's so easy, you know.
I know, and it's like, yeah, some of the best songs are sampling other people's shit. Like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't know "Regulate" by Warren G. You know that song?
Mm-mm.
That's a Michael McDonald song.
Yeah.
I didn't know that for so long. Like,
Oh, I mean, my friend today texted me Gastrolls by MF Doom. That's a Steely Dan sample.
yeah, like that. Like
It's off of Asia, the album.
Asia, another band that an underrated.
Dude, that was what we would do. We would do the rock DJ. We would do the classic rock. You're listening. I'm here with a bassist of Rat.
Yeah. It would just be like, you're here listening to unfiltered rock, and be like, here's Shinedown. Like,
It was like the classic, like they're trying to be raunchy, It's like the rock. Yeah, they're like, every drive time we can fix all of your problems except your wife's A cups. Zoo radio.
They still have like boob jokes in like 2015. Yeah, they'd be like, you got a case of the Mondays? Well, we got the cure. And then it would just be like, Back in Black. Like, just songs that like, they just revolve like the same 20 songs. And then like, it's just like guys with like, it's just blue collar workers listening to us. Like, that's the only people that listen to the radio anymore.
Just HVAC guys.
Yeah, just HVAC guys on a DeWalt radio.
Dude, I was in a green room. I did a show on Friday at the Santa Cruz Theater. It's like East Side, and in the green room there was DeWalt, like headphones in the style of Beats.
They're like hard hat headphones.
I was like, someone left them on the fridge, and I was like, oh shit! Look, someone left those like 2018 style looking Beats, and then I flip it. It says DeWalt, and it's yellow and black. Yes, it's Beats, but it only plays AC/DC and Rush Limbaugh.
yeah, like you start playing rap, and it just immediately shuts it off. It's just like it just switches it to 38 Special.
Just play Simple Man by Skinner.
Yeah, just repeat all the time. Dude, but yeah, like there's so many, like people think New York is like, they only think of New York City, but man, upstate New York is like, it's just like, it's the same thing as Texas. Like, it's just how it works, man. Like you go to like a city, and then you like, it's urban, like more like progressive, like, thinking, but like you go to any city in any state, it's a redneck. Like no matter what, you go it does not matter where you are.
More people from upstate New York have more in common with someone from my mom's hometown in Northwest Iowa than than most people think, and it's like upstate New York is, I'm assuming, just like second generation Slavic people and then like fifth generation Italians, who like, and they all went to Montclair State or like, University of Albany or some Hofstra, and then like,
there's a lot of random colleges. It's like a big state. I mean, I think that's New York. It's like funny because it's just like a weird area, like there's a lot of land.
You're from like kind of there. From
I'm like I'm like it's weird, man. Like my town is kind of like you get like the people from the city, but then you get like the rednecks. It's kind of like that middle ground. And when I grew up, it was more like it was real redneck. But like as time has gone on, it's got more like it's like I've seen like the hipsters kind of move in almost. You know, like my town is just like kind of it's definitely getting like more. You know, there's like more coffee shops or whatever you want to call it before. But like, you know,
yeah.
But
it's veteran Joe Rogan coffee. You know.
Yeah, so, Black Rifle coffee.
Yeah. This is Chris Kyle coffee.
Yeah, Chris Kyle.
It's got creatine and it's got some scripture from the Bible, and with it you get a little bit of the Quran to fucking throw in the trash.
Dude, yeah, me and my friend, we always joke around about that stuff. Like rednecks love to brag about how hard they work. They're like, yo, I work so fucking hard, man. You have no idea. Like they always talk about like blue collar guys. Like they always like put a Facebook status like, you know, work as hard as I do. Like you ever see that? I don't know.
Yeah. Or they post a meme where it's like her hands look like this, and it's like hands with like nice nails. So, or my hands look like this, and it's like a white guy's hands that are covered in calluses and grime, so her hands can look like this.
Yeah, it's like, what? Yeah, like
I may not get rich, but I'll never have to like compromise my morals. And it's like, didn't you rip people off on that roofing job you did last week?
Like, don't you spend half your paycheck on tall boys on the ride home? Like that's
Yeah, it's honest work. Okay, well, I've never met an honest mechanic in my life, so. You know?
I know, dude. Like, I feel like that's how you always know, like, the town is shitty when there's just a ton of mechanics that don't have business. Like, it's just like there's like 20 mechanic shops and none of them have cars there. Like, that's like, there's always mechanic shops, but nobody's like busy.
They're like, you gotta go 2 towns over to see a real guy.
Yeah, like, dude, it's.
That's what I imagine northern Jersey, like Bergen County, Union County, and then I imagine like just like on like White Plains, New York, like that part of like central New York, like I imagine that whole area is just like crooked mechanics. Just
yeah, White Plains is like right out of the city, so you get like a lot of like White Plains, I guess like Yonkers, but yeah, Bergen County definitely, yeah, like I mean it's really
mafiosos or like fucking like crooked mechanics.
Yeah, like Long Island is like obviously the hub of all that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's Mecca. That's Mecca.
Yeah.
It's make a pilgrimage. The Cuomos make a pilgrimage every year to pay their respect to the island of Long Island.
Yeah, nobody likes. It's like funny. Nobody likes Cuomo. Like that's one thing every New Yorker seems to be like, yo, fuck Cuomo. Like I don't know, like De Blasio. Like nobody seems. I don't know how these people got elected. I've never met someone who's like, I love De Blasio. I don't know to get into politics or anything, but
didn't he run for mayor against Anthony Weiner?
Maybe that's just like who wants either of them, you know?
Yeah, it's like everyone's like New York is, well, I guess Giuliani was mayor and he's a Republican, so I guess I always thought of New York as a Democrat place, but it's like all the Democrats there are Republicans anyways, like Bloomberg,
yeah,
Blasio, like they're like it's like, do you want a pervert? Democrat like Anthony Weiner, or do you want a Republican Democrat like De Blasio, Bloomberg?
Dude, Anthony Weiner, what a clown that guy was. He was just like nobody knows who he was until he just like like how pretentious and how smart do you think you are to like you think like you just like get away with that and still like win elections?
What's so
he was like, yeah,
is that he never fucked. So he threw away a congressional career. And then he ran for mayor, and then I watched the documentary. It's called Wiener, and it came out in like 2017 about his like run for mayor, and everyone was like starting to believe in him again. And then he started sexting more teenagers, and his wife left him, took his kid, rightfully so, piece of shit. I think he went to prison for like a few months, white collar, of course, but like
yeah, of course he doesn't go for shit.
So he went to jail again, so he threw away a congressional and a mayoral career, and I mean, it's not. I wouldn't want him to have sex, and use his power evilly, but like he didn't even get that done. It's like, again, don't want him. I'm glad he didn't get laid, but it's very funny that like evil as Epstein was, he never. I'm not gonna go there, but
I know, man. Like I remember, they're just like so many people. I don't know. Like I don't know how. Maybe that's why people get into politics. I don't know or what, but like
a lot of them do. Yeah, I imagine.
You just like, I guess you just probably think you're so amazing that you can get away with anything. But like these people are so stupid because it's just like you're sending pictures, like all of it's recorded. Like, how are you that stupid? But like I think because their arrogance, just like they're so pig-headed that they just think it won't happen to them somehow.
Yeah, it's got to be like athletes, politicians, and then just seems to be like stand-up comedians.
Yeah, stand-up comedians, like, yeah, there's a lot of them. Actors, whatever you want to call it. I mean,
we'll use our platforms for good, okay?
Yeah, we'll use this podcast for good. We'll spread a solid message.
A solid message where no one fucks, okay?
No one. We're all just like, we all send like one message on like Tinder and then like no response, and then like that's the relationship.
It's gonna as a YouTuber and as a podcaster, you and I, we will use our platforms to promote a sexless future where we have an empty generation where no one's taking jobs in the 2040s because no one fucked in the 20s.
Yeah. I mean, like when I get into a serious relationship, like the first thing I was like happy about was like I don't have to be single. Like I don't know how people miss that. Like my friends like, man, I just wish. I'm like, that was like the most awkward and uncomfortable time for me. Like I don't want to like guide through that again. Like I'm like that's relief to me. I don't know how people miss that still.
What it takes being in such a it takes two things. Either you're a type of person who's just a loner,
Yeah, that's true. I am definitely like that.
Yeah, some people are like they love being social outside of the house, but they love being a loner inside the house. Whereas, a relationship people, they can be social outside of the house and then they can share and be social everything inside of the house. A lot of people, they're like, yeah, I can totally like say hello to 10 different people on the way to the open mic and run into people on the street and then go to the bar, then do a show. And I'm like socially like outgoing, but when they get home, they're like, I can't share another room with someone. I got to have the room to myself.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? They're like antisocial loners at home. And that's what breaks the relationship is you got to learn to share your life with someone.
Yeah. You're right. It's like, yeah, it's dude, like when I lived in Austin, though, I mean, like you saw how I lived. Like I was like that shit was like people like it was the opposite of 50 Shades of Grey. It was the opposite of that movie. It was nothing like that.
Dude, your place that you had this fold out table. You had so you had like Lifetime, which is like the brand for like basketball hoops. Like they all.
Oh, yeah. I think I had a table made out of the backboard of a basketball hoop.
they make basketball hoops, and they also make foldable tables and chairs in the academy. And you were eating all of your meals off a plastic.
It was just that, man. It was a fold-up table, the most functional furniture imaginable, like pure function.
You just had like a Topo Chico bottle with a dead flower on it. And
something stupid.
And like the blinds just like bled in onto that table, like so sad. And you would always like take photos of like your dinner on it, and you would play like Unforgiven by Metallica as you wrote on your Instagram story. That was always so
yeah, dude, I didn't have any decorations. I just had like a Dimebag Daryl poster. That was it.
It was an Alice Chains poster.
Just Dimebag Daryl over my bed. Dude, it was like, I mean, the guy sold me the apartment for like half off. He's like, yeah, 2 of the burners don't work and the ceiling tile's coming out. So that's why I was able to sell it to you so cheap or let you rent it for so cheap. And I was like, oh,
dude, I love that.
That was, yeah, I mean, like, I don't regret, like, what's that?
It's a good neighborhood though, North Campus.
Yeah, it was a great neighborhood, and like, I mean, when you're as like a guy, when you're by yourself, like, you really don't care. Like, you're not like, oh, you're not like upset. Like, you're like, I mean, maybe some guys are. I don't know. I feel like guys that like if they do try to like really like make their place mad, like they're doing it to like impress, they're not doing it for themselves. I don't know, but
I finally got my own place in November, and I was phoning it in at first, and then I had to make the decision. I was like, no, no, no. I'm buying like an $800 brand new mattress. I'm getting a bed frame for it. I'm getting
oh, nice. Yeah, you did it right.
nice desk to work on, and then I'm getting a nice dining room table to eat on. Like, I mean, I did it all on Marketplace. The mattress was brand new, but everything else was Facebook Marketplace. But like, I'm investing in art, framed art on the wall, because it's like this is like in November. It's like shit. We could be inside for a long time, and it's like if I'm gonna be in it just broken out with somebody, heartbroken, moved into a studio apartment. Like my brother looked at it and was like, "So this is your suicide box?" It's like
That's how I felt, man. Like you just like four walls, like that's it.
yeah, and it's like, oh look, the leasing agent told me that the ceiling fan is reinforced, so you'll be just fine.
Exactly. Like, dude, it was so funny when like you go to like check out a shitty apartment and like they have to try to sell it to you because they just have like nothing really to talk about because it's just like it's so cheap.
They're like the price. They're like, but for the price, it's great.
Yeah, exactly. Like they still have to walk. I don't like. Did you have like a real estate agent? I don't even know. Like the person, like the leasing agent, whoever like comes in and has to show you the place. Did you do that? Like they're trying to sell it to you.
Yeah.
And what were they like? What were they brag? Like what were they like? What were the pros? Were they just like?
The pros was that they had resurfaced the bathtub, which is like legally you have to do that for every new tenant.
Yeah, just like things you have to do, like just like legal things that they're supposed to do.
Yeah, they're like, we just put new light bulbs in the ceiling fan and we resurfaced the bathtub.
It's just like, oh wow,
those are amenities. Like,
yeah,
oh, we put a new air filter for the air conditioner in. It's like what?
Yeah. Yeah, you have heats, like
but
yeah, dude, like
God, but they're like, but for this part of Austin, for this price, they kept saying that over and over again, and I was like, look, I'll take it. Like, I don't need you to sell it to me. I saw the number on the website, and that I decided I would take this place before I even walked in. I just walked in here to make sure there wasn't a squatter, like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, still some guy there.
Well, like I used to date someone, and they lived in these one bedrooms in South Austin, and like there's only and out of like it was a condo with like 9 units, and out of like the units, only like 3 people paid rent. There was 4 of them that were squatters that the constable came out and had to like arrest because they were just living there illegally, not paying rent, and they kicked down the doors, and I looked in, and it was just like no furniture. It was like candles.
Oh yeah, just like a hot plate on the floor, like something weird like that.
Dude, yeah, it was just so much fast food garbage everywhere, and they slept in a corner on the floor.
Oh man!
So it's like, squatters are real in Austin,
Yeah, I mean, like it's a step above, I guess, being homeless. So like it's where are you living right now in Austin?
I live in East Austin. I live off of Manor Road, so like.
I know that.
Yeah, I live in East. It's Central East Austin. It's pretty great, man. It's like when you were living here, I lived off Riverside and Pleasant Valley by the airport, and that stunk, dude. It was just like.
Oh yeah, I remember that spot.
You're like, yeah, that was a dump, dude. It was fucking battle traffic to get anywhere. You were by the airport. I was right next to a fire station, so I just hear planes and an ambulance all the time.
Dude, that's the worst, man. Like outside, because I grew up like in the middle of the woods, pretty much. Like I did grow up, not near. And like once I moved to like noise, you really notice that fast. You're like, oh, this is terrible. Like if you live by like a busy road, just cars constantly going by.
Yeah,
it wears on you. I guess if you grow up like used to that, but I don't know.
I moved into this building, or no, before I lived here, I moved out of Riverside and I moved into a friend in the comic Ben Cholock. I don't know if you ever met him. I lived with him, Clara Blackstone, two other comics in a house in North Austin, and it was just a residential neighborhood, right, with a yard, a backyard, and it was just so quiet and so peaceful that I couldn't sleep for the first 2 nights.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I was used to like car
We're just like,
crashes,
yeah.
roosters, guns, fireworks, ambulances, airplanes, buses, like cop cars. It's like I was used to all of it where I couldn't sleep for 2 days.
Do they still have the scooters down there? Like all the electric scooters you get on the app? They still have those? Those are the best, dude. I love those things. Like, I don't care if people made fun of me. What's that?
It's mayhem down here, dude. People are like, I talk to friends who like live in Boston or other northern cities, and they're like, yeah, I've been seeing on Instagram people going to like Tulum, Mexico, and it's like you can do whatever you want down there. It's like you just come to Texas, like
Yeah.
do whatever you want here, dude. Like,
I didn't realize like the scooters because like you like don't realize it's like the same thing as like drinking and driving. Like you're like, oh, I'm fucked up. I'll just ride a scooter. Like you don't think it's a big deal. Then like I ate shit so bad one time and just like got a terrible gash on my arm, like on my eyebrow. Yeah, like, but like I don't know. Like when you're growing up, they're like don't drink and drive. Like they're like don't drink and drive. So I'm like I don't know. Scooter's a good alternative, but
scoot 20 miles an hour.
You'd see guys like on the main highway like going off of exits on it. Like what the fuck.
Dude, yeah, I remember seeing a guy on the shoulder of the freeway one time. My favorite was during the protests last summer here in downtown. We were like, everyone was protesting, Black Lives Matter protests, and just like this guy was so drunk on a bird scooter going through a protest that he fucking ate shit so bad. And people were like, are you okay? Are you okay? And like, everyone's like, the cops are firing rubber bullets. We gotta go. This guy's like, there's like some homeless drunk guy on a scooter that someone had left activated.
Just like in his own world.
He's like, what's all this? Yeah. He's like, oh, it looks like they're finally revolting.
Yeah, dude, I saw a homeless guy on a ripstick today.
Nice.
And I was like, he was like moving. I'm like, where does he gotta go? Like that he needs to get this so bad. Like he's like so determined. Like like when I'm so curious, like when those guys wake up, I mean it's probably just like drugs or whatever, but like when they wake up, like what is like their goal for the day, like
to score.
Yeah. Like some of them just seem so like determined, like sometimes.
Take the ripstick out for a good 20 minutes, listen to some Steely Dan and score.
That's what
That's it, mate. And if I get laid along the way, whoops, I ripsticked into some pussy. Let's go,
Like, I mean, he stole that, but like, whatever.
Oh, for sure. Stole it from like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Like just took it from someone's lawn. But
some kid left it out.
Are the mics are like the still mics still like is I mean, does anybody love Goat anymore? Is that done?
Dude, Love Goat as a bar is out of business. COVID.
Oh, well, that makes sense actually. What was
but that bar was like indestructible. I thought that bar it was gonna survive a nuclear holocaust, and it just finally went out of business. So it's gonna become a hookah bar to compete with there's a hookah bar right next door.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there's Casbah Hookah Bar, and there's a different one. So everyone's calling it Little Morocco, and as a neighborhood, we'll see if we have an open mic, but it's all just patios. All the open mics. There's like 2 or 3 indoor open mics, but everywhere else it's just like the funniest one. And it's actually a very, very good open mic. There's an open mic at a wine bar here, but the wine bar. When you imagine a wine bar, you're like a classier ambiance. It's on 6 in the highway, so it's just like you're just to walk into this wine bar. There's just a person vomiting like on the sidewalk, and the color is like indescribable coming out of their mouth.
Dude, that's what like. Yeah, dude, that's what makes you like better though. Like dealing with just like all those things as a comic. Like if you just like walk doing a show and everyone's paying attention, like everything's fine. Like That's not what's gonna make you funny at all,
Not
dude.
at all.
Like
Yeah.
you gotta love those shitty open mics. Like you gotta love it.
Yeah, I mean,
A
I
little
remember
bit.
walking to the Velveeta room one night, and I passed the Salvation Army on 8th and Netchie, downtown. There's a dude beating off, just like standing against the wall, one hand on the wall of the Salvation Army, and just drive tracking. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm doing comedy tonight. Let's go.
I mean, I gotta give him credit. He's able to do it with no stimulation. Just like that's
Oh yeah,
pure determination.
yeah. That's
Just
what I
the
meant.
soft, like that's impressive. I'll give him
Not to
that.
like rehash an old thing on stage, but I was like, my sandwiches are so boring. I just put like Munster, meat, bread, bread. This dude had the imagination to beat off to a concrete wall.
Yeah. Like, who is this creative genius? That is like.
What a beautiful mind.
Exactly. He could be the next James Cameron if he just didn't get addicted to drugs.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, yeah. No, but that wine bar, it's incredibly good open mic. It's a good one, and it's usually actually has good crowds. But to walk by, you have to walk through all these homeless camps to get there, which is so funny. It's like walking through, just like you walking through like a Hoover town. It's like the Grapes of Wrath to then go to then do a comedy open mic, which is already frivolous enough at a wine bar. It's like what universe is this? And then you go, and it's a very good open mic. And what's so funny is like it's still dirtbag comics who are signing up, so it's like classy individuals who are having wine, and then typically like a Mr. Tramps or Love Goat, the comics are drinking like Lone Star Tall Boys, Well whiskeys. They're just drinking like a Syrah, and they're like on the table swishing it. So it's like a comic who makes like $11 an hour doing whatever job they have, and they're just swishing a $22 Syrah, waiting to go up. They're like sniffing it. They're like, the tannins,
Dude, like,
it's like what the fuck? Like y'all are comics, like.
I mean, remember those dudes though that would just be like they were like you were like, are these guys homeless because they only show up to this one shitty open mic? I've never seen them anywhere else.
Yes, some of them were.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the guys are just like homeless. They're just like looking to waste time. Like they're just like walking over.
Fred
Tramps. Tramps is definitely one of. You're like, I think this guy's just homeless. I don't think he's even trying. Like but you're like, it's enjoyable. It was like an Eagles bar. It made no sense. It was like, go Eagles. Like, we're in Austin, Texas. Why is this an Eagles bar?
It was Eagles and Tottenham Hotspurs. So like Premier League soccer and Mid-Atlantic football in Austin, Texas. It's like have the decency to just put a Texas Longhorns football thing up,
Yeah, just go with the flow, man. Like
it's a hometown team. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, I remember when they tried to do an open mic. I don't know why they didn't cancel it. Like the day the Super Bowl, and it was when the Eagles won, and they had an open mic like 5 minutes afterwards. And I was just like, why are we doing this right now? But okay.
Did you go?
Yeah, I was there, dude. It was a shit show.
I would not have gone. I didn't
go. It was a shit show. There's almost a fight between like the guys trying to celebrate and the comics trying to do sets. It was like it wasn't even comedy. It was just people yelling at each other. But
this is not.
It was. But that's like. I feel like I got better at doing that. Like just like arguing with a guy on stage and trying like than like just going through my set.
Yeah, true. You could have just recited something you've been doing for the last 2 weeks, and you're like, no, I'm going to talk to Philly dirtbag.
Exactly. Like I'm just gonna try to say whatever comes to my mind. Like. You ever get those open mics and you're like, why waste like trying to tell real jokes and like I'm just gonna whatever I can write right now and see if it works.
Off the dome,
Yeah.
To quote Deacon Blues by Steely Dan,
That's my favorite Steely Dan song.
This is the night of the calming man. Watch out as I approach the stand. Okay, just excuse me if I sing too long. I cried when I wrote this song. I'm gonna go on stage and do my thing, baby, and then I'm gonna go home and die behind the wheel.
Dude, that song is like I've listened to the lyric. Like that song is so dark. It's just like why aren't there should be a song for me who's a loser. Like that's like there's always the songs for the winners, and it's just like you know. But it's like a fun beat. Like you don't realize it when you're singing along, like you know. But
Yeah.
that's a good one.
It's a song about being a jazz musician loser, and you're exactly. There's songs for the winners. Why not? I want to name when I lose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's man, that's a good song. But like
Can't wait to sing it in a COVID-infested Dickies Wranglers, cowboy. It's gonna be me and like my friend from Austin, with both wearing glasses and Steely Dan shirts, just like Austin liberal idiots in our 20s, and it's just gonna be like oil barons in their 70s who are just like,
yeah.
I remember doing this coke to this song in a strip club in Tulsa.
Yeah, dude, going to concerts. I went to the funniest concert. I don't know why, but I just found myself at a fucking Disturbed concert.
I've seen Disturbed live too, so.
And this was pretty recent, like not like at like Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which is right outside Scranton, Pennsylvania, and like like bedazzled crosses I saw and like jeans, and just like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know people still wear etnies, like fat tag etnies. Like I had no idea they even still made those. I'm like, people were living it back. It was still like 2004. Like it was still right when they were popular.
Scranton, PA, that's like Bam Margera country.
Yeah, Scranton is just like, it's like, I don't even know if it's a city. It's just like kind of like no one no one gets a timeshare in fucking Scranton, Pennsylvania.
No.
You know what I mean? Like there's no tourist brochures.
And those people go to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
Yeah. Dude, that's another weird. Delaware's like a weird, like, I don't even know Williams something. I don't even know it's like a main city. Like, no one's been like, we're going to Delaware. Like, maybe the beach, but.
We're going to Dover.
Yeah, Dover, Delaware. Like, what?
Yeah. I drove through and I was like, I like the vibe here. Everyone's like.
No one really gives a shit in Delaware, man.
No one gives a shit here. Like, my dad's dream is to go to every state capital and to every major league ballpark. So one time we went to see, yeah, you're shaking your head like, what a dumb, yeah.
I mean, like, I love it, but like I just can only imagine some of the state capitals you go to and like, just like some of the cities, man. Albany is a shithole. Albany, I know, like Albany is like, why? Why are you in Albany? You know?
I know, dude. So we started in, Maryland and caught a Orioles game, went to Annapolis, saw the state capitol. Then we took the Amtrak and we went to PA, caught a Phillies game, and where I don't know where the capital is in PA. We went Harrisburg. We went there, and then
like I've never been there. I've been to like no one. Is it like just pretty regular town like Harrisburg? Like
it was just a town of like 700,000 people, you know. And,
yeah.
And then we rented a car and we got to the Dover State Capitol building, and the state trooper for the Delaware State Highway Patrol was like there, and he's like, "You want a tour?"
What?
It's like, yeah, my dad is like, "Yes, absolutely. I want to see."
You know, like call his boss, like you didn't know what to do. Like, some guy wants a tour, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. He's like, hold on while I get someone.
Yeah. I gotta make a phone call, all right? No one's ever asked for a tour.
He's like, where are you guys from? And we're like, we're from Texas. And he's like, okay. He had never met people with state pride in their life. And like the Texas State Capitol, I don't know if you like walked around. It's like grand. It's big.
Yeah.
It's like
a nice one.
So grandiose. So over the top, so Texas. And that Delaware state tour was like 8 minutes long. They're like, so here's
go to the bathroom and leave.
They're like, here's the chamber, the state senate, and the state reps will take turns using it. And I'm like, y'all don't have a different chamber for each.
Yeah, this is like on Tuesdays. They just like don't have.
And this is our multi-purpose room. This is where our state courthouse / tickets, traffic tickets.
Yeah, like there's just like a fucking Dunkin' Donuts like attached to the side of it.
Oh yes, there was a yeah. I was much into the vibe of Delaware. I was like, y'all are no frills. You guys
It's just like the rest stop state, man. It's just like, yo, like you know,
95. Let's go.
yeah, like even food, like like right, you got like a Philly cheesesteak, like New York pizza, like Delaware, what man,
Nothing.
like nothing, like
No.
even Iowa or Idaho has a potato, like Delaware is just like
No cultural point of reference. Nothing.
maybe seafood, maybe. I think they have like crabs.
That's Maryland's thing. Maryland is crabs.
Yeah, Maryland is crabs. Yeah, they just get like the shitty crabs that Maryland doesn't want.
They wash down shore.
Yeah, exactly.
The lobster Maine, Maine lobsters, Maryland crabs, Delaware Biden. That's what they got. They got a senile president.
Biden's from Scranton. That's right. Biden is from Scranton.
Oh, but he was a senator in Delaware for like decades.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
He's from Scranton, so he is for sure a Mid-Atlantic hero for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely Mid-Atlantic. Dude, you ever been to Connecticut? That's a state where it's just like, why is this? Who made the borders for this place? Like, it should have just been like absorbed.
Man, I just drove through Connecticut. My aunt was going to Yale at the time, so we went to New York and then we drove down to visit her in New Haven, and then we just drove right back. We're like, there's no point coming down here. And Connecticut's weird because apparently if you go to West Connecticut, they're Boston Red Sox fans, they're Bruins fans. It's they consider themselves New England, but if you're in Northeastern Connecticut, they're we're the tri-state area, we're New York,
Yeah, they're Connecticut. It's weird because it's real close to even New York City. A lot of people live in Connecticut, and a lot of rich hedge fund managers they live in Connecticut and just commute to New York, I guess. But it just feels like a state where it's just has zero personality. It's where you go when you're rich and the only thing you have to describe yourself is being rich. You're not I don't have a sense of humor. I just you just have to buy your interest. Those people.
Well, it's like that TikTok, which Wagner and I were telling how much we love your tech guy.
Oh yeah.
He has the square glasses low on his nose, and he has the
stupid vest, dude. That's exactly it. That's where I get to those guys, man. They just
they're Silicon Valley and Connecticut dudes,
Yeah. A lot of people would comment this is Silicon Valley. I'm yo, these people are everywhere, man. So
it's a vibe everywhere.
Yeah, my goal is, I always try to I just love to make fun of everybody, it's fun, everybody's stupid in their own right.
Yeah, Wagner was quoting, he's my wife takes his tennis lessons, she's not getting any better.
Yeah. Dude, I want to move over to YouTube. I feel it's more TikTok's been they want stupid content, man. They don't want original shit. They don't want thought-provoking I do well on there, but I'll do well, and then I'm oh cool, I got X amount of views, and then I'll scroll through, and it's just a dog jumping in a pool that has 10 times more views than I have, and I'm just oh man,
yeah, you put the work in to come up with a character,
exactly,
images to be the background, you find a song to go with it. Yeah, you come up with a costume and the props. You come up with the lines. You edit the whole thing together, and what it ends up just being is the robot voice, female robot voice, who's big tits and dogs, and it's just a dog.
Yeah, it's they really want dumbed down content, and it's I get it, it's not it's you only get 60 seconds time, so it's clearly they're not looking for a huge cinematic, thought-provoking piece. So,
yeah, I was thinking. I think about ripping off your conspiracy theorist TikTok and doing 60-second conspiracy theory. So it's just a guy in one breath. He goes, and then he does a whole conspiracy theory, and he's no, don't cut me off, don't cut me off. And at the end of every TikTok, he's no, there's more.
Dude, yeah, that's conspiracy that TikTok. I didn't even I guess I redid it a few times, but it was just one train of thought. I didn't feel because I feel conspiracy guys, they just connect everything to everything. They'll be 9/11 was this, and that's why this was this, and that's why it's just you know, I don't know. You can always make fun of conspiracy guys.
I've been that guy. I'm not even kidding. I mean, I've got the books to prove it. I've got, you know, the Franklin scandal. I've got.
I mean, I like it. Some of it is interesting.
Secrets. In this big old book I've got, and but like I got them all, and I was that guy in like November, dude. I was going crazy. Like I was connecting dots. I was like so big on the Iran-Israel like conflict because in like right around Thanksgiving, like like Israel or probably the U.S. as well and Saudi Arabia, all three countries murdered like the head nuclear scientist of Iran, and it was like, dude, like shit's gonna go down. And I was just like grasping at straws, and I was just staying up and reading for like I would go to work for like 10 hours on my feet in the kitchen, and then I would just come home and for like 5-6 hours I would just read like Middle Eastern Institute, the John Quincy Adams Institute. I would just read these websites just
Wow.
5 hours, dude, and like go crazy.
I mean, I applaud you on like being able to like, because I mean, I'm not spending my time any better, I guess, you know.
You're actually like creating something on the internet that's making people laugh. It's creating fan base for your comedy career. You're actually like doing something fun. Like I'm sure you and your girlfriend have like fun editing it and laughing, coming up with premises. It's like I was just in a windowless room working myself up for no one.
like Charlie and It's Always Sunny. You ever see that episode when he's just like doing all that shit on the wall?
Yeah, the strings attached to the wall, the bulletin boards. Yeah, classic, dude. Fuck, man, hours already gone by. We got a few minutes left. We're doing fine on time, but any other like that cut you off? Was there anything you want to like talk about or bring up? Funny story, anything?
Oh, funny story, man. I mean, like
I'm gonna have you back on, of course. So
yeah, dude, it's been a lot of fun, man. Like I think it was just like, you know, great chemistry. It's just fun talking, like telling stories. You know, it just comes naturally. So
just hanging,
you know,
making fun of things, just talking,
making fun of things like a podcast should be. You know, like just nothing.
Yeah, like when I was telling people I was starting this, I was like, they're like, "What's the premise?" And it's like, first of all, very few people are going to listen. Secondly,
I mean, it's fun. Like it's fun. You know, like people forget about that. Like you know,
it's like I don't want to do a show where we like review television series that were canceled. You know, that's already been done. I don't want to do a show like it's like we review Firefly and we review Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Shows that got canceled. It's like this has been beaten to death. I know funny people. We talk. We're fun. That's the show. You hang out with us. You just go while you're like on the treadmill pretending to work out. You like fucking just listen to us and laugh with us. That's the show, you know?
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
And I'll, yeah, man. I mean, like, you know, if you can send me over the video recording, I'll like, you know, or whatever, I'll post to my TikTok too. And like, you know, man. I'll tag. So like, yeah, I'll like, you know, I'll find like 60 seconds of something that like we think is funny or whatever. So,
yeah,
you know, and I'll put them like my story and shit. So.
Yeah, there's some people who actually had success with that. I don't know if you knew Mike Eaton. He was a comic here, and he went to LA.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, he was funny, man.
Yeah, he moved out to LA, and then he came back after the pandemic, and then he started a podcast. He's been posting his clips of his pod on TikTok, and he got a fucking sponsorship from it. Like, it's like, yeah, I need to like stop being a lazy shit and start putting clips of this on TikTok. Like, that's what it's got to be. And
yeah, man, it's like it's funny. It's like you have to like do things you don't want to do. You have to do things like you don't want to do, but you need to do things you want to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like you like. There's always things that like are gonna be like shitty about like no matter what you choose, you're always gonna be like, oh, I don't want to do this, but you have to like to do the like instead of like working some shit job that you don't want to do at all. You know.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's like, and I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's like. Sometimes editing shit and like, you know, it's not the greatest, but like, you know, but at least I don't have a boss, you know, at least I'm not getting like passive aggressive emails.
Yeah.
I mean, I am, but I don't live.
Yeah. Damn, man. Well, it's like probably getting late over there in New York. It's 10, so I don't want to keep it for too much longer, man. Thanks for doing the show.
Yes, man. I had a great time, man. Have me back anytime. It was a lot of fun.
I don't have a lot of guests on. It's usually just me and Wag. So like,
I'll be a reoccurring guest, man. Of course.
dude, yeah, it'd be great. It's like just the LDF family is just a few people that come in. You know, it's not like a thing where it's like if someone hits me up, they're like, "Can I do the show?" And if someone I've spoken to once, it's like, no, because the show is the chemistry of people that are friends of mine. You know, so it's
Yeah.
I guess go ahead and plug your stuff one more time.
Yeah, I mean, just Eric John 93, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. That's a big one. Eric John 93, ErikJohn 93, and
follow him. We'll post on the LDF podcast page. You know, TikToks that we love, we'll post. YouTube videos that we love from his. You know, we'll find stand-up videos if you're cool with that. We'll put that on there too.
Sure.
Just throw that on the LDF page because you're part of the LDF family, baby. Let's go.
Wow.
I got for me every Wednesday at the Thrive Craft House here in Austin, 37th and Quad. I've got my weekly show, new lineup every week. This is coming out Thursday, so the week of the 21st. We've got comics from Austin, headliner from LA, who's written on Comedy Central roast, comics from two comics from Chicago, and a guest spot from a Denver comic. It's like packed house. It's going to be really good. Please come out, tell your friends. That all I want to do is just rate LDF Podcast on iTunes and then follow at Thrive Comedy Hour on Instagram. You guys rule. We'll see you next week. Bye.
See you, man.